What's your name?
Melissa Izbitsky Baranowski.
Okay.
Mom, aka Mom.
I'm gonna ask you questions about the American dream. What is your definition of the American dream, and how do you measure success?
My definition of the American dream would be to have a family, own a home, have a successful career, at least one dog, or more. Don't need to be wealthy, but need to be able to survive and live comfortably. And that every person in my family is happy.
Okay. And how do you measure success? Like, what do you think is successful? Like, how do you measure that?
Success to me is my daughter being well behaved, well raised, good grades, have a good profession that provides for the family, and a good home for us all to come home to every day.
So that's success.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't need to be rich. You just need to be rich in happiness.
Okay. This is the second question. Why do you believe that? Had any experiences that helped you, like, that encouraged that opinion? If so, describe one. And do you believe that you have achieved your American dream?
So, when I grew up, my mom was a so-called stay-at-home mom. My dad was the breadwinner, and we had a very nice house growing up, and my parents made sure that we never wanted for anything. We had everything that we needed, plus some. My mom cleaned houses while we were at school, and she worked very, very hard, but she made sure that she drove us to school every morning, and she picked us up from school every day, so much where she became the caravan mom, and she picked every kid up in the neighborhood and dropped them off on the way home from school. And I grew up wanting to be able to do that. She came to every class trip. My mother was there for everything. She took us on every vacation. And sometimes my dad sacrificed because he had to work, so he couldn't come to every vacation. So I grew up knowing that I wanted to provide the same for my family and be able to give you experiences and see things and make sure that I could provide that for you.
Yeah. Okay. When did the American dream become important to you?
Probably about, give or take, between 20 and 21. I met your dad when I was 19, I believe. And I knew very early on that I loved your father and that we were going to start this dream that we had together and have a family. So I would say about 20 years old.
What result has what result has pursuing the American dream had on your life?
Well, it's had a huge impact on my life where I feel like I have accomplished what I wanted for you. We've gone on many vacations. I've showed you a lot of experiences. Our family is very close. We do a lot of things that are family orientated. You might not like them all the time, but I feel you have a nice home. You have a good family. We may not, your father and I may not be together still, but I still feel like you've been provided a good life and you know that you're loved.
In your opinion, is the American dream an illusion or is it a reality? Like, can
I
you
think that
achieve
it could
or-
be, I think that it could be one of each. Someone who doesn't want to accomplish those goals could make it an illusion, and someone who really cares about those type of goals could make it a reality. And I think that I have done everything that I could to make it a reality. So for me, it is a reality.
Okay. And is the American dream harder or easier to achieve today's world than it used to be? In your opinion?
100% harder. Things have changed. The economy has changed. Prices of things have changed. Buying a car has changed. Car insurance has changed. Mortgage interest rates have changed. The price of homes have changed. It is extremely difficult, in my opinion, from when I grew up. When I was your age, I bought a car by working at CVS, right? You're working at ShopRite, and there's just no possible way that you really could buy a car right now. The economy has changed dramatically.
Use the American. Oh, okay. So
Chart?
Yeah, I have to go get it. I didn't know this was in here. This is probably why they told me to do it. Hold on. What? Okay, here. Just ignore the like already highlighted stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, let me make sure this is right. Choose your top 3 from the chart,
Okay.
and then
But not yellow?
No. You can choose yellow or white.
Okay.
Just ignore that it's highlighted, and it can go down. So you can
Alright, let me read them all.
read them in your head and just say the ones out loud.
So top one,
Mhm.
happiness
Yeah.
is number 1. Family. Actually, can I backtrack?
Yeah.
Family is number 1. Happiness is number 2.
Mhm.
But I don't mean happiness just for me. I mean happiness like a family unit,
Okay.
not like a selfish happiness. And
Is Onyx getting interviewed?
freedom.
Freedom.
Yep.
Okay.
So family, happiness, freedom.
So, why did you wait? What? Oh, never mind. Okay. Why are they important to them?
In my order.
Yeah, like why is it important to you?
Well, because you want everyone that you love to be happy.
Mhm.
I went backwards. Happy was the middle. So you want your family always because they're your
Yeah.
family. So family should be the most important thing to you. And then you want to be happy so that you can enjoy your life, especially with your family.
Mhm.
And then you want freedom to be able to enjoy the things that you like to do with your family and your friends. And you see, sometimes these stories in other countries where they don't have the freedom that we have. So family should always be your most important thing, and you want to be happy with your family. And if you're not a happy person, then you can't give your family everything that you need to be. And if you don't have freedom, you really don't have any of those things.
So I'm gonna read what I chose from the chart. I chose 10, but you chose 3. I'm gonna say my 10, and you're going to if you would add or disagree with anything. And then I'm gonna read this statement to you, which is my American dream. So, number 1 is personal fulfillment. Number 2 is security or having basic needs met. 3 is living in harmony with the environment, so like no pollution, like you could breathe. 4 is freedom. 5 is fair wages and taxes. 6 is equal opportunity. 7 is achieving a wealthy lifestyle.
Affluent or wealthy.
8 is enough free time to do things you enjoy outside of work. 9, happiness. 10, family. Wait. Okay, yeah.
We're a complete opposite.
Mhm.
Family's my number 1 and family's your last.
At least it's on there. These ones I just didn't choose at all.
Interesting. Okay, read me your statement.
Okay. I think I wrote. Okay, this is me. I wrote this really quick because I was about to walk out of class. I don't know if this is even true.
Mhm.
You know, I'm just gonna tell you. I'm not even reading that.
Okay.
My American dream would be like me myself have like a good paying job, but it's something I like. Like I would be a vet, work on animals, and I would hope to have enough free time to do things with my family. Like I would want like 2 kids, husband, animals. I want a lot of dogs, a lot of cats, and I want like a big house for them, for the animals and my kids. I also want to live in New York City, but I don't know how that house is gonna work out there. But I do want to live in New York City, and yeah, that's my American dream, just to have a lot of money. And I really hope my husband had a lot of money too. And we would pay our bills fine, everything was fine, and then we could feed my kids and my cats and my dogs.
Okay. Sometimes
And
though,
have a fast car. A Hellcat, actually.
sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you can still be successful and you can still be happy and you can still have your family and you can still enjoy life and have all of those things. But it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. You don't have to be rich to have all of those things. Like my parents, Joe Pop and Grammy were successful. We weren't rich, but we still had everything. And we went to Disney every year for like 9 years straight. Again, it was much cheaper then, the economy's different, but I like your goals, but everything doesn't have to revolve around wealth.
Okay.
The poorest people in the world are rich in happiness.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask you some statements, and you're going to just choose one, and one that you most believe in, and how it helped guide your path to the American dream. So, number 1, in order to achieve the American dream, you have to constantly stick to one clear path.
No.
Okay. 2, in order to achieve the American dream, you need to avoid letting the influence of others or your environment impact the path or goal you've chosen.
Yes.
2, in order to achieve the American dream, you need to necessarily risk no matter how unlikely your goal may seem at the time. Take risks.
Yes.
D, the American dream is an illusion for some because people can't always apply or revise the components of the American dream to our ever-changing world. But you have to choose one of those statements
I can't.
that you
I believe.
that you agree where it helped you when you were trying to get the American dream.
Okay. Scroll a little bit so I can see A.
You didn't like it.
Don't like that one. Oh, I really like B and C, and I don't like D. I could only pick one.
Mm-hmm.
In order to achieve the American dream, you need to avoid letting the influence of others or your environment impact. Oh, I like that. In order to, you need to see. I like them both because you should never listen to somebody else, and you should always take risks if you really believe in something. But if I can only pick one, then I'm gonna go with B.
Okay. So why did this help you on your path? Like, how did that influence you?
Because when you want to be something or do something or want to go somewhere and make a goal, you shouldn't let your friends or family allow you like to talk you out of it. The influence. You know, I wanted to move to Florida randomly when I was 17. I graduated when I was 17. 17, and Grammy was like, no, you can't go. You can't live on your own. You can't do this. And, you know, if I let her influence me, I would have never gone to Florida and lived with our cousin and experienced, like, I would always regret it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that if you want to become a hairdresser or a vet or a race car driver and your friends are telling you like that's not cool and you shouldn't do it, you shouldn't allow that to choose what you want to be in life. But I also see is a big one for me because going to Florida for me was a risk, right? Because I didn't know what would happen and if I'd have friends, if I'd meet new people. And if you don't take risks in life, you're never gonna know. So I'm in between these two, but I'm gonna go with B because now I feel these, in this time of you growing up, peer influence is big.
Okay.
And it wasn't as big when I grew up.
So explain why the other three statements might cause someone to veer away from the American dream. Start with this one first, since you don't like it.
Because people, so A, in order to achieve the American dream, you have to consistently stick to one clear path. That's always going to change. You wanted to be a vet, you wanted to be a hairdresser, then you talked about doing IT work or game coding. Now you're talking about possibly being a vet again. So if someone said to you that you had to stay one clear path, then you would never have been able to do hair or choose something else. I don't like that one because nobody knows what they want to do when they're 15, 16, 17, and some people don't figure it out until they're in their 20s. So I don't like the one clear path. In order to achieve the American dream, you need to take it. I like that one, so I'm having a problem with that. But sometimes risks could be, can go either way.
Like illegal risks, something
Yeah, you don't want to do anything that could jeopardize your life. But you want to take risks sometimes because you don't know. But there are scary risks, and there are risks that could leave you poor, broke, hurt, damaged, dead, drugs, illegal risks. So that one will go there. The American dream is an illusion for some because people can't always apply or buy the components. So that one is, I could see how people could feel that the American dream becomes an illusion because the world changes so much and the economy changes so much. And when I wanted to go to school, it wasn't as expensive as it is for you now. So I'm afraid that this youth, if they want to become a doctor or a vet or something that does take, 7, 8, 9 years of college, they're afraid to do that because they think they can't afford it, or it's just, so that, I don't like that because you shouldn't change your illusion on life because of the components that are around you. If you want to be something, you should still be it no matter how much the world changes.
Okay. If someone falls short of reaching their American dream, can they recover it? How and what would they need to do?
Absolutely, they can recover it because it's still your dream, right? And no one can tell you how to dream differently. So right now you're working at ShopRite and you might want to become a hairdresser or you might want to become a vet, but just because you're working one job doesn't mean that you can't want to become something else. And your dream as you grow older is going to change. So no one should ever tell you that you can't do what you want to do. And I know people at the age of 50 that decided they wanted to be something, and they went back to college at 50 years old to achieve that dream. So you can always do what you want to do, even if it's later in life. And no one should ever tell you that you're too old or you missed the boat. You can always be what you want to be.
Okay. And that's it.
Okay, bye-bye.